Well, let's return now to one of our top stories. World Health Organization's warning about the possibility of a global spread of polio. We were hearing earlier from our correspondent based in Kenya, who spoke to a number of refugees in a Somalian refugee camp. But meanwhile, Pakistan has seen some 74 cases of polio so far this year and has seen vaccination workers targeted by gunmen over recent years. Well, our correspondent Aleem Makbul is in Islamabad for us. Aleem, just how serious is the situation in Pakistan?
Oh, it is serious. There are 74 cases, as you say, this year, which is up on last year, 57. And if the World Health Organization is going to eradicate polio globally, it is going to need some success here in Pakistan. The fact of the matter is that right now, polio vaccinators going to many parts of this country feel that their lives are in danger because of the work that they do. The Pakistani Taliban has banned vaccination in the tribal belt in the northwest of the country. There are areas of cities like Karachi which are considered no-go areas for vaccinators, and there are those who've been involved in the vaccination campaign and those protecting vaccinators who have been shot dead even in the last year or so. So it's a very serious situation. NGOs, charities are trying to find innovative ways to get around it, to try and eradicate and immunize against polio. There are many, many brave men and women in this country who are still involved in the vaccination campaign, but it is a situation that is seen as politically something which is very difficult to cope with.
And indeed, we've heard from Pakistani cricketer turned politician Imran Khan speaking out against this. But Aleem, we're going to have to leave it there. Aleem Makbul, many thanks for that update from Islamabad. Now, across Europe, there are an estimated 10 million Roma people. A large number of them live in poverty and face daily discrimination because of their background. Well, their plight was highlighted earlier this year when a Roma couple in Greece were accused of abducting a young blonde girl called Maria. Well, one of the largest Roma populations in the EU lives in northern Romania. Our correspondent Yelda Hakim has had rare access to the community of Baia Mare to see what life is really like for them.
I first meet 6-year-old Samuel in the laboratory of an abandoned copper factory on the outskirts of town. Samuel lives in a single room with his grandparents and 8 cousins. In the hallway, his neighbour is sniffing paint thinner while Samuel and his cousins play. For decades, this was one of the most polluting factories in Romania. Yet it's now home for 116 Roma families, including 245 children. Until last year, Samuel's grandfather George, a street cleaner, was raising all 9 of his grandchildren in the Roma settlement of Craica. The community has lived here for 20 years, but the land is not theirs. Like Roma people across Europe, they've claimed a right to settle on public land. With anti-Roma sentiment running high in Baia Mare, the families living on Craica were issued with eviction notices and the demolitions began. The mayor made the demolition of Craica and other informal Roma settlements his #1 campaign promise for re-election.
Eu nu vorbesc despre demolarea într-un mod brutal și abrupt. Să-i mutăm de acolo într-o zonă în care au condiții, au apă, au canalizare, au electricitate.
He was re-elected with 86% of the vote and is now the most popular mayor in Romania. 5 minutes from the centre of Baia Mare is another Roma settlement, Harea.
Rebecca.
As I make my way around the building, I meet Rebecca. Although she's 10 years old, she's not going to school. Her grandmother says she was turned away.
Nu-l luat, nici la școală nu-l luat. Ba, am vrut să-l trimit la școală, o protecția, să-mi rezolvă, dar am rămas într-atâta, nu m-am făcut nimic. Dar nu știu.
The authorities say there are no restrictions on Roma children accessing mainstream education. The lack of schooling, whether by parental choice or because of the system, remains a big problem for this community and any chance of a better future. Back at the factory, I meet George's daughter-in-law, 17-year-old Roxana. She was 12 when she dropped out of school. I ask her what she'll do in the future. Yalda Hakim, BBC News, Romania.